Yes, thank you, Colin. Yes, you might as well hit the like button. Good evening, one and all. I do appreciate. I don't know how many of you are live right now, and there'll be a number of you watching on replay, rewind. But my first question, well, as soon as I went on it, because obviously it's evening time, is: does anyone know how you stop this reflection on glasses when looking at a monitor? Is there some kind of special device I can put down? That's my first question. Oh, I can see there's already a whole hat full of you already come straight online. And okay, so good evening, Colin. Yes. So as this is a lot of people will be watching on replay, I've just got a number of questions I want to go through because it's quite a challenge that I've set myself. I mean, it literally is today, Wednesday. It is now. It is 11 weeks to the day that I had surgery, 11 weeks. And next week we have the marathon. So that's 12 weeks. And I've set myself quite a challenge. But my question to you guys who are watching, whether on replay or live, are you ready? I know, Colin, you had a bit of a fall, which these things happen, but I'm sure you'll recover and you've got a few more marathons in between. But are you ready, guys? I literally, the excitement, because I downloaded I'm sure, Bill, there is no cure for reflection on glasses, but maybe I shouldn't wear my glasses, but then I can't see. Hey, blinded by the light. Yes, so I'm so excited. I've just downloaded the app. See, I can't see if you can see it with the reflection, but it now tells me I'm in green start. Woo! Yes, I'm in the green wave, although that will change because, as you may know, I'm going to be doing the unveiling of the what outfit I will be in. I know, Bill, you did leave a comment of the fastest marathon in Highland dress. I don't know whether you were just quoting me a fact or whether you were guessing I'll be running the marathon in Highland dress. It's a very good guess, but it's not the correct guess. So I've got two questions to you. Is that obviously, are you excited? Are you ready? And then you can leave it in the comments because you'll be watching on replay. Any guesses on my finish time? What you think my finish time may or will be? Because yeah, it's not been ideal training blocks. I know lots of people have been leaving comments. A big thank you to all those who watched my latest video where I do like my tech. And whilst I have a Garmin, I couldn't resist talking about the new Apple Ultra watch. And there will be a follow-up video as well later on in the week, because in terms of what's coming up next for my training, and I know, Bill, you're guessing 3. I love your optimism. But if that happened, then they'd want my blood and body for experiment, because I'm going to go through the training and then go through some basics and be very transparent with you. Transparent, open, and honest. Not transparent and not telling you the full truth, which I gather goes on with some other channels. So they say they're transparent, but they're not giving you the full truth. So I'll give you the full kahuna, yeah? Because if I did go under 3 hours, it would be nothing short of a miracle, yeah? You saw my Worcester City Half Marathon. I struggled to finish in 1 hour 29. There isn't a cat in hell's chance that I could double that and finish it. So that ain't happening. Good guess, Colin. 3 hours and 4 minutes. Again, I would love if I got that, and that would be a new PB as well. But when I show you the outfit, let's see, then you might change the estimates and so on and so forth. But I do have a park run coming this Saturday where it'll be full gas, and you'll get the video. When I say by full gas, it'll be pedal to the metal, throttle, and that is a form of indicator that can show me what I may be able to do. But when I go through my training, and I will be unveiling the outfit, why I'm doing it, so on and so forth, I have left a link in the description because I will be running the marathon. By the way, can you hear me okay? I've not got plug-in earphones, so leave a comment if you are watching live. So I will be running for Dementia UK. This is the jersey. It's a bit more clearer on here. This is the back of the jersey. In fact, you might need to remember this because I have added that to, yes, the dress could increase wind resistance. Well, it depends on the weather. Speaking of weather, did you know today is the first day of autumn? Yes, that's right, folks. The chill is coming. It's already been chilly for a number of things. And thank you, Bill. It is a great cause. And the reason why I'm running for Dementia UK, for those of you who haven't watched the backstory and various videos, if you go through the history videos, it will show why, is that I'm running in memory of my late aunt, who sadly passed away literally when I was running London Marathon last year. I had a message the night before the race that she'd been admitted to hospital, and sadly, a few days later, she'd passed away. But she'd been living with dementia for a number of years, and it's not good. Yeah, I mean, good evening, Nick. It's and yes, Colin, I hate winter too as well. But that's why I'm running for Dementia UK. So I'd love for you guys to support. And when you see the outfit, I'm going for a Guinness World Record because it helps raise more awareness for the actual charity. I have attached the Dementia UK. I've done some, not me personally, but a friend of mine has done some special work on the outfit. So when I go running the marathon in that outfit, you'll know it's for Dementia UK. So Nick, I'd love to know how you're getting on. Are you ready for your next marathon? So let me give you a breakdown of the whys and wherefores, and why I think, whilst I appreciate the positivity from you guys guessing sub 3 or 3:04, when you look at my, I've been doing some marathon pace training over the past couple of weeks. And when I say marathon pace, that's effort. And then I check what the pace is based on that effort. So I know that unless something magical happens, and it could, the crowd can carry us, because I'm going to be doing some Q&A about London Marathon and giving you some hints and tips as well. So if you are watching and you've got some questions either now, you can ask it in the comments, or if you're watching it on replay, you can leave a comment below and I'll endeavour to answer it. Is the big thing, and Colin, I know you're watching, is the biggest thing with these marathon majors events like London. New York is at a completely another level. Oh, good evening, Muffy, and thank you. Yes, it is a great cause. Is that Chicago Marathon in 2 weeks, Nick? Chicago is another one. Having ran Chicago, be sure to watch my video, Nick, because you'll see the course. Super flat course. The thing with these big races is you get big crowds, and there's something magical that happens here. I don't want to get too philosophical or whatever the words may be, but there's energy there. Use the energy of the crowds. And as I say, something may happen. It certainly happened to me before. I can't understand, I can't explain the science of it. I'm sure there is science. And good evening, Sturgeman, whoever you are, good evening. Welcome. And yes, Muffy, Chicago is a wonderful place. Yes, Chicago is amazing. I love deep dish pizza, and you can't get enough of it in Chicago. So, and in fact, just as a random bit of whatever, we've got Berlin Marathon coming up this weekend, and I've got a video coming out talking about the race. I've done a review, so it'd be love for you to watch that. That's one of the majors which I will be doing next year. I've already deferred this year's because it's too close. And good evening, Mark, as well. It's too close to London Marathon. 1 week is not enough time for me to recover. I mean, I've got to be open and honest. I've tried it twice and I've failed twice. My legs can't take, they don't recover in time, basically. So I want to put the time and effort into London. And that's why I'm not doing Berlin, even though I time qualified. They've kindly allowed me to defer to next year. So and hopefully I'll get a GFA for London. So next year will be London and Berlin. But Berlin is fantastic. But the crowds, there's something in there, and London is the same. Last year, although London was extra special last year because it was the first one since the pandemic. And I think, again, looking at the app, for those of you who are doing London Marathon, have you logged in, downloaded your app? I say, for me, it's even telling me what train station to get to, arrival times, walk time, and start times. So it looks like the kit bags will be dropping off kit bags on the morning rather than at the expo, which is really good. So it looks like there'll be lorries dropping off kit bags, but we will be in waves. So they'll be based on your estimated start time. They'll be putting you in waves. Now, for me, because I'm doing a Guinness World Record, I'll be with the Guinness World Record people. So we'll all be in our various outfits. I don't know where that start will be yet. They've not contacted me about that. So I will be starting with the rhinos, the elephants, the Trafalgar Squares, the Big Bens, and all those people in those wonderful, amazing outfits. Yeah. Or there was a guy last year dressed as the world. So I'll be running with those. So that's going to be quite entertaining for the first few miles. Hopefully, with the outfit I'll be able to pull away from those and then try and catch up with some of the quicker runners. Who knows? I might bump into you, Colin, around mile 3, where all the different coloured waves all merge into one, and then we can head to Cutty Sark together and continue the race. So yes, absolutely, Colin. You've just left a comment. Yeah, it's back to normal and baggage system, so you can, and as you say, Colin, thank goodness, because for me it was just like a bit of a missing link last year, but things are beginning to get back to whatever they may call normal. Mark, I see that you're doing the first marathon at Chester, and yes, I know you've been leaving comments. It's good to hear that you're Achilles, and I'll talk about the training that I'm doing now, and I'm going to save the best bit till last. I know. So if some of you watching this on replay can fast forward to what the outfit is, and you can have a bit of a giggle. But I want to give a bit of a background so we know where we're at, and then you can give your re-estimated finish times based on that. So a bit of statistics from surgery. It's 11 weeks today that was surgery day. So it was on the Wednesday, and 11 weeks right now. I was in a lot of pain and all that kind of jazz. Yeah. So basically, by the time race day comes along, I would have had 12 weeks since surgery. And as we all know, standard marathon training blocks is about 16 weeks. Yeah. So have you done the maths? So I had 5 weeks from surgery of 0 running. I was doing a bit of walking, and I'll probably do a video because I haven't shared a lot that was going on, and it wasn't pretty. And as I say, I ended up in accident and emergency, which wasn't planned at all, but these things happen. Thankfully, I'm here, I'm fit and healthy running, and God willing, I don't get any other issues, and I'll be at the start line with you all. Yeah. So I've had 3 weeks taper as well. So effectively, I've had 4 weeks of marathon training. Yes, 4 weeks of marathon training. Now, I do appreciate that there's some mileage in the legs, but having had that 5 weeks off of 0 and just a little bit of walking because of the logistics, I've got 4 weeks of training. So for those who know their marathon running, with 4 weeks of endurance running, I'm only going to be able to, the body can only cope with so much stress and fatigue at a particular pace, at a particular volume, and so on and so forth. So I haven't had enough time to do endurance running. In fact, I've only had three, that's right, just 3 30k runs. I've not been able to take them up to 32k. I've not been able to get up to 20 miles. It's just not been logistically possible to do that, because when you have the time off and then you start the training, you can't elevate the distances without risking injury. So I'd rather get there 80-90% fit, ready to start, rather than risking getting injured. So I'm playing it safe and looking at long term. I've always looked at it long term, and it's all about the joy of running. So I'm going out to enjoy it, but at the same time raise money and awareness for Dementia UK, and maybe chat to some of you guys. So I'll be planning, as I always do, running with my camera, chatting with people, and having fun. And thank you, Mark. Yeah, it is remarkable how I've recovered. I can't help but sometimes sort of touch wood and think, how has it happened? A lot has been helped by you guys. I know a lot of people, those who are watching, will be watching on replay. I know there's not a lot of people online right now, but there is a lot of people who have been through similar type surgeries, and they've helped me in terms of what I can't do. The surgeon's been amazing. He signed me off straight away after 6 weeks after surgery, saying I'd be okay for the marathon. So that was a bit of a confidence boost. But again, there's things playing on my mind, how Worcester City Half Marathon went, and that was a real struggle to finish the 13.1 miles. And so yes, I'll be running at a much slower pace than the half marathon pace, but it's how long that the legs can take the endurance. I mean, last year when I ran it, it was run at a much slower pace because I knew I had Yorkshire Marathon 2 weeks later, but I still struggled in the last sort of 10 miles where I was getting a lot of fatigue again. So the training was there. And but as a number of you have said, the fancy dress will take the pressure off me. Maybe in a way, this was planned to do before I had the surgery booked. And because the surgery, I literally had a phone call, I had a week's notice, the outfit and everything I'm going to show you was already planned and approved by Guinness World Records before I went into surgery. So I'd already decided on the outfit, I decided on the time, and I thought, I can give it a good crack if I'm fit and healthy. So, but obviously now it does raise questions. But I think for me, the way I do a lot of these races, and I'm sure a lot of people, those of you who are experienced, is we go on feel. So for me, about the effort and time. So we often talk about pace, race pace, and so on and so forth, but it's about the effort, and you can only basically plan so much effort, because if you take heart rate is an indicator of the effort basically, and I won't go through the whys and wherefores, the whole logistics and the science of it all, but you can take it up to aerobic level, which is zone 3 for those of you who use your Garmin's or whatever. So not in zone 2, which is easy pace, zone 3 into aerobic. Once you go into the anaerobic phase, which is a higher heart rate, then you'll be fighting a losing battle. And if the heart rate goes up there, to bring it back down is a challenge. And that's when people start bonking, cramping, and losing all sorts of things in the dress. So it's one of these things that, from experience, you can do that. But again, not just heart rate, there are other logistical things that we need to contend with. And that is the hydration, the nutrition, and also our physical ailments, how our bodies are tuned, our tendons, ankles, knees, and all that. So how those feel. So your heart rate might not be showing much effort, but because you carry in a bit of a niggle or injury, the heart, you can't push a certain pace, so the heart rate will stay low, which is a benefit. But then you're in pain because of that niggle injury. So it's balancing all that. And stating the obvious, guys, 26.2 miles is a long way. Yeah, long way. But enough about that. So I think I've been wittering on long enough. So any questions anyone wants to ask about what they're planning in terms of their marathons, any Q&As, by all means, throw it at me. So whilst I look at, I'm going to talk about, I've told you why it's Dementia UK. Now, the outfit that I'll be running in, there is a world record for this, and I'll be running in the male category because there's a male and female category. And yeah, the current world record for this particular outfit is 3 hours. Yeah, so it's not one of these 5-6 hour outfits. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes. It's somewhere around 20 minutes, 3 hours and 20 minutes. So you can tell that it's an outfit that is holding back, but enough to still continue running. So if you did watch some of last year's videos, where you would have seen me running the Kenilworth Half Marathon with Kieran. First time I met him last year. Now we run regularly together. And I like your comment, Bill. Tuck behind someone in a large costume. Believe me, Bill, in every event that I race, I always tuck behind someone who's bigger than me. So especially when there's wind and rain, if I remember the famous Boston Marathon of 2000. What year was that? Was it 2018? Oh, man. Yeah, I was behind, and then there was a line of us all behind this guy who was about 6'5", and there was a whole long line of us. But we do try and tuck behind some larger, taller people who are running at our paces. But going back to the outfit, so it's 3 hours 20 is the current world record. I don't know if it's changed or updated. They did say I need to check on that, and I don't know if there's other people running the same day as me in the same outfit, all going for the world record as well. So it'll be like a race of people going for these. So there will be a number of interesting outfits, shall we say, and I'm hoping to capture of much of this as I can. There'll be a series of videos coming out over next week regarding London Marathon, some at the Expo. Hopefully I'll be bumping into some of you guys either at the Expo or before or whatever. I might do some filming and do some shorts so you can see some live up to the minute stuff. I'll probably do some live stuff on the day as well to keep you posted. And also it'll take my mind off the pressure or whatever. I don't know whether I'll be doing any live during the race because I tend to drop things. I've dropped my GoPro so many times. It's still in one piece, thank God. But yeah, I've dropped all sorts of stuff, and obviously these don't come cheap, do they? So I don't want to be dropping that. So yes, the trying to get on the comments there, Bill. The 140, yeah, back to back 140s. It's doable. You know, so you know the 3 hours 20 minutes. It's definitely doable. I believe I can do it. A lot of it is mentally, but for those who are first time into, I know, Muffy Butterfingers. Well, what to do? You know, I'm probably getting old holding certain things. Should I really be running with a GoPro anyway? But that's another story. I do enjoy videoing it for you guys, and also for my watching back and entertainment. The question that often gets asked is, would I be quicker without a GoPro? Which is a good question, but for me, the essence of my running, because I've not always ran with a GoPro. It only started when for Brighton Marathon. So all the other events, most of the events before that, I didn't even have a Garmin until I'd been running for about 8 months. I know it's shocking, isn't it? So there's about 8 months of my running not recorded on Garmin. Nobody knows, and it will be a challenge, Bill. 3 hours 20, and I'm trying to read what it's saying there, Mark. You'll have to avoid the BBC interview if you go for the record. Yes, well, we'll see. Who knows? When you see the outfit, I don't think they'll want to interview me. It's not that outlandish and scary. You know, I'm not dressing as Big Ben or anything like that. There are some outstanding crazy outfits that will be going there, and you would have seen some in last year's video. And but should we do a bit of a drum roll, because I've been talking about 20 minutes, and then you can all give some assessments on it. So if I was to tell you that it's of a hospital theme, so having been in hospital, it's quite apt that the outfit is of a hospital theme. So I'm not running as a ventilator. So you might know that Kieran last year got the Guinness World Record dressed as a hospital equipment. And I think he came in a time of 3 hours 23, 3 hours 24, somewhere around there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kieran. Apologies if I got the exact time wrong. But yeah, Kieran dressed as a ventilator, which is interesting enough. That's his profession. He works as a ventilator engineer, which is quite apt with all the COVID and respiratory issues that people had. So I've got a hospital theme. I'm not running dressed as a doctor or a surgeon. No. So I've got the outfit here. Drum roll. Are you all ready? So it will be an outfit that obviously I can dress on the day. So I do have the charity on the outfit. The charity part is on the outfit. I don't know how the sound is coming, but can you see the rest of it? In fact, I'll have to step back. So yes, I will be running in a yes, a hospital gown. Is this showing? Yes. Can you all see this? And and it is long, so it is full length. It goes all the way down below my knees. This is where I should have maybe planned. I will be. I think I'll share on the community page the full length picture. I know it's exciting, isn't it, Muffy? Yes. I like your drum rolls there. Yeah, I'm very pleased that there's people paying attention there. So this, I've added this just so people will see. They sent me a name tag, so I'm getting a name transferred on there. So it showed Donato. But yeah, and it is the one that has the split at the back. So it does have a split at the back, but don't worry, I won't be naked underneath this, which is how it is in the hospital normally. So I don't know about the trip hazard, Bill. Is that you see, I've sat on it. It's so long. So it is a long outfit. There you go. Keeps going. So it does reach to around my shins. So it is a long outfit. Tripability, I don't know. I've not ran in it yet. Mark, yes. Did you not listen to me? Yes. In a hospital, you are naked underneath. I think they give you some of these surgical pants so that when you go into surgery, they just remove that and you got your surgical pants to, maintain your dignity or whatever, privacy. But you're fully naked underneath. So no, I won't be going commando. And yes, I like that, Colin. Dr. Guru. Hospital gown. So it's the world record for what I can't remember the exact wording, but it's male runner hospital gown. I know what you're saying, Bill. I've got to practice, but can you imagine me running around my local streets dressed as that? I think they'll call the hospital and think that someone's escaped. They'd call the police or something. But I've got to work out a place. In fact, I should really put it on just here in my home and walk around and see what it's like. But obviously, I've walked around in the hospital with it. I don't see it as a big issue, but I suppose I should practice. I don't think I'll be practicing at this Saturday's park run because that will be full gas and running. But yeah, it's doable. 3 hours 20, I believe, is doable. But the issue, as I mentioned earlier, is with just 4 weeks of training and 3 weeks of taper, is do I have the endurance to maintain a particular speed and so on and so forth. So I may have the speed back, but have I got the endurance? And that is the big question. And yeah, Phil, they would call me out to put a straight jacket on. So for those who don't know, a bit of my history is that I used to work many moons ago, obviously now in my 60s, but when I was a student, I did work as a hospital nurse. So, and one of the things that sometimes would happen is that, yes, some patients would be found outside in the public, and I'd be going out, collecting the patients and bringing them back to the hospital. So, yes, that was one of the things that used to happen. So people would phone. So if they see people in hospital gowns or whatever, they know that they should be back at their local hospital. So will I be having matching headwear? Is there matching headwear? The normal headwear I wear, Colin, is this. Yes. So does that match? I don't know, but I might have a visor on. It all depends on the weather. Does anyone know what the future, the long-range weather forecast is, which may change? I do hope it's dry, but if it's raining, it's raining. It will just get wet and soggy and heavy. But that's how these things go. So, and as you say, Mark, the park run Saturday will be interesting for a practice. But for those, again, being like the, or as Colin says, Dr. Guru, being the old wise guy, and I always err on the side of caution. You may recall the last training block for Manchester Marathon, I did pull a bit of a muscle, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to run the following park run the week before at full gas, because not to aggravate anything. So if you are carrying any niggles or injuries, going full gas at a park run is not advisable. So, 3 hours 15 is a very good guess, Mark. Shall I tell you what one of my previous coaches has said? Based on my time at Worcester City Half Marathon, and based on some of the training runs that I've done, I did do a long run with a bit of marathon effort towards the end. Is that the heel catching on the fabric? That's why the times aren't super fast with these outfits. Is the outfits do hinder our speed, but based on my current level of fitness and effort and so on, I'm around 3 hours 10, 3 hours 20, literally on that cusp of breaking the world record, provided things go to plan and everything's fine. But who knows, if things go really well, I could go quicker. Bingo, lovely, that would be amazing. And so I'd like to be a bit cautious. I always practice what I preach. And you might have seen where I even said at the Worcester City Half Marathon to Running with Andy, he has another YouTube, I said to him at the start, remember not to go off fast. And what did he do? He went off fast. And every kilometre progressively got slower. So I'll be going off extremely cautiously for the first around 10k to get my feet. Once I'm around Cutty Sark area, 6 miles, 10k, somewhere around there, I'll then make a call as to how I'm feeling, how the limbs are and everything, and whether to push on or to hold, the same way as I was doing at Worcester City Half. So I don't want to burn my matches at the start of the race, and I would definitely recommend, if it's your first marathon, you go slow slow can be, and just enjoy it, because it's an event of a lifetime, London Marathon, and there will be no safety pins for me, Bill, at the back, and to reduce shoe fabric interaction. I will be having a number of bibs on me, so I've got to carry the race bib, which will be on the front, but I'll also have, there's 2 other bibs I'll be having on the back. One will be showing my veteran age category, because there's the World Age Group Championships at the marathon as well. So, you know, I could be on for a podium place for the V60 age group. Who knows? But there are some fast people. In fact, there's one particular guy who I interviewed, and he will be there, Tommy Hughes. He's 62, and he runs 2 hours, 30 minutes. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be getting anywhere near Tommy. And so if anything, I'll be vying for second, third, whatever, but I don't know. But there's a lot of fast guys from all over the world who'll be turning up at London Marathon in my age category. So there is that. And also I'll have a bib where it'll say Guinness World Record attempt, so people can see, you know, even if they'll see me in an outfit, they won't think I'm just some crazy guy running in a fancy dress outfit, but it is a Guinness World Record attempt. So I'll have one of those attached to my outfit as well, and that'll be on the back. So I'll be like a multi-bib, multi-faceted, everything type thing going on there. But I will be taking it cautiously. And thank you, Tim. And what shoes will I wear? Let me show you the shoes that I'll be wearing. That's an excellent question, Tim, because I have the shoes right here. Ooh. Yes, I'll be running in these. Can anyone guess what they are? And as you say, Colin, Mark, yes, Tommy is a legend. I am hoping to meet up with Tommy and get some footage with him. Not during the race. This will be before the race. Who knows? I might bump into him during the race. You know, he might be dressed in an outfit as well. Wouldn't that be something? But I know Tommy's going for a Guinness World Record himself as well, and he will be with his son Owen. They're both coming over from Ireland, and I don't know whether they're running together. I'm going to find out. But these are the shoes. Can anyone guess which shoes these are? Yeah, you can tell they're Saucony or Saucony. But which shoes are they? Come on, Tim. Guess. You asked the question. Can you guess the shoes? So these have already done nearly 300k in them, and they still look like new. They're amazing. So if you'd like to meet Tommy, Colin, I'll drop you a message. I'm going to try and work out logistics with Tommy. And I know that we'll be around the same area in West London, but if we can meet up with him at the expo on a particular day, just to make you aware, logistics, for those who are travelling down to London, there's a rail strike planned on the Saturday before the marathon. You couldn't make it up. However, from reading the email, London Underground and Dockland Light Railways will be performing. Sorry, I just read one of the questions here. Will be running as usual on the Saturday. So if you're going to the expo, I'll be planning on going to the expo on Thursday afternoon. So I'm planning on arriving in London Thursday. So I'll be going to the expo Thursday afternoon. I may be at the expo again on the Friday, but I don't know yet. But Saturday is usually a bit of a nightmare day, really busy, everybody arriving last minute. So if you have days that you want to go, I would recommend going before the Saturday. Train strike or no train strike, try and avoid the Saturday. It's absolutely crazy. Unless you love being in long queues, crowds, and waiting forever to, you know, get your bibs and do all sorts of stuff that's going on. So I know some people do like that. So going through the questions, answers here. Mark, Endorphin 2. Tim is asking, is it the Endorphin Pro? Do they have carbon plates? Bill is asking. So the answer is there is no carbon plates in those shoes. So they're not the Pro. No, they're not the Endorphin Pro. I don't particularly like carbon plated shoes for some reason, but it's the Endorphin Speed 2. So it's the plastic, it's got a plastic plate in here, but I like it because it's got lovely Pebax foam in it and it's so comfortable. And I do most of my runs in those, although I'm still wearing out some of the magic speeds. So I've sort of kept those endorphin speeds too in sort of reserve, ready for race day. So I have done the marathon pace training in those just to see what it's like, but all the other training runs I'm still wearing out my magic Asics magic speed, which are great all-round shoes. If you've seen my YouTube shorts about those, I do think they're great. And I don't know, Bill, if Tommy and his son are in my wave, but as I mentioned, in my whilst I've been allocated a wave, the Guinness World Record wave takes priority, so I have to run with those people in those outfits. So whatever wave they are in and whatever zone, there's I think the green, red, blue, magenta, there's all different start points. I doubt it if I will be with those guys because they'll be with the GFA qualifiers, so I won't be in the good for age qualifying places. And also, I think they're in the they won't be in the good for age. They'll be in the championship qualifying places because they're under sub 240. And as you say, Mark, it's going to a good cause. So let's see what happens. And I did have the speed ones, and it depends. Yeah, if you are a pronator, that they are neutral shoes. So when you say huge race, Bill, 50,000, no. There won't be. I think it tops around 40,000. It might be 41 or 42, but no, logistically, London can't cope with that many runners. I think New York might have 52,000, but the roads in the States are huge and they can take the volume on the roads. So the roads are much wider, bigger. So even though we've got waves in London, I don't think London could cope. Who knows? But I don't think it is 50,000. I think it's about 40,000. And if you watch last year's video, whilst there is over 40,000 runners, it's not a mass start. This year it'll be in waves again. So when we arrive at the start area, we'll be in smaller groups. So the fields and everything, normally it's absolutely packed, rammed, with all 40,000 people all there at the same time, ready to go. But I think this year will be similar to last year. It'll be wave starts. So there'll be a few thousand at a time starting every sort of 10, 15 minutes. And it will be just a slow stream of people all going out and having a good time. I think last year, the start was spread out over about 5 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong, Colin, or if anyone who was doing it last year, because last year I was in the first wave. And just to give you a bit of stat, so I'd ran the race, finished, got changed, got on a train, went back to my hotel, got showered, went for my free pizza. By the way, if anyone wants to come and have, I don't know if there's going to be free pizza again at Francomanca, but I'll be aiming to get to Francomanca for my free pizza. So I had a pizza at Francomanca, and then I walked from my hotel to the end of the marathon race. So if you add up all that time, the back of London Marathon was still passing after I'd say done all of that afterwards. So I'd ran, finished, got back to the hotel, showered, changed, had a meal, relaxed, and then walked along from my hotel to where the race was, and I saw the back of the race, the back bus. So it is very well spread out, and it was spread out last year, taking into account COVID regulations or whatever, but things have moved on now. So, and yes, and when you pass, people do move out of the way. There is room to maneuver, Bill. Again, have a look at the video. There is space and stuff, and it depends how people are running, but sometimes you get with a group of people, but it is quite crowded and cluttered for the first 6 to 7 miles. So there's a lot of zigging and zagging going on, or zagging and zigging, if that's the right word. But there's a lot of people, even though it's been spread out. So you can imagine when it was a mass start, is you are literally clustered with everyone, and it's people of all different abilities. So if everybody's being honest with their finish times, we will just be running all together, so there won't be any zigging and zagging. You'll be just running as a group. But as often happens in races, people do slow down or speed up depending on what's been happening through the thing. So it is impressive. It's quite a sight. I am so looking forward to this. The things that have been keeping me going through some of the dark times is knowing that I've got this marathon coming up. And whilst I won't be at my fittest and my strongest, it's just great to be in some form of fitness to be able to start the race. So, and if I do break the 3 hours 20, as you've said, Bill, it would be a pretty impressive world record. But I'd like to go quicker. Certainly, if I can get towards the 3 hours 10, I'd be really happy with that. But all that remains for me to say, because I've been talking now for 40 minutes, I know people will be watching on replay, is I just want to thank everybody who's been live right now. There's been quite a crowd of you, which is very impressive, and a lot of you interacting, Bill, Mark, Colin, Nick, all who's been on here. It's been absolutely amazing. I know some of you are new. Some of you have just joined literally only this week after watching the Apple Ultra Watch review that I had. I am an Apple buff, but I'm not a convert to the Apple Watch just yet. I'm still sticking with my Garmin for the moment, but there will be an update coming on later in the week as well, following up from that, because with the way tech is changing and moving, when I was doing the research for the Apple Ultra Watch, I didn't realize that Garmin had moved on really well, and also some of the other watches. And I do love my tech. I'm a bit of a geek, so I do like my tech. And also, talking of geek, I'm actually wearing the outfits. This is the Nike running division. This was my prize for winning my age category at Worcester City Half Marathon. So thank you to Worcester City Runs for my prize. I think this is £60 worth of Nike gear, they said. So it will help for my winter training. And thank you, Colin. I wish you all the best as well, Colin. We'll be definitely seeing, because and Youssef, hello, mate. How you doing, mate? So I don't know where in the world you all are. I know that Bill's in the States. I'm guessing Mark is in the UK. Colin is obviously in God's country in Yorkshire. And Youssef, I don't know which country you're in either, but wherever you all are around the world, it really does warm my cockles, warms my heart, knowing that you all leave comments and very supportive. And for me, as I say, I like to be open, transparent. Is if I did struggle at that Worcester City half to do 1:29, doing a sub 3 isn't on this time around. But who knows? Who knows? And hello, Mac, leaving the. Is that me farting, or is it going at speed? Although, as the old saying goes, don't trust a fart at mile 20 in a marathon. Yes. So enough of that. So, hey, Tim, you mentioned Droitwich. I may be up for that. Sorry, as we digress in terms of locals. So I'm waiting for someone to get back to me if they are doing Droitwich half. So I may be on for that. Hopefully I would have recovered in time. And yes, Bill, I will be chatting on a Berlin Marathon, not on Sunday, not live, but I have already produced a video and I'll be releasing it tomorrow, I think, as part of the build up for Berlin Marathon. And you do know me from a long time ago, so you'll have to remind me when, or leave it in the comments, you say. But yeah, the name is familiar, so let's see how it's been going. So I know a lot of you guys have been on this channel for many years and seen me develop over years, and some of you are new literally in the past few weeks, days, months. So all that remains for me to say is, because I've been whittering on now for nearly 45 minutes, which is a long video. So I know a lot of you appreciate the live stuff, but all I can say is I'm looking forward to the parkrun on Saturday. I do have some short reps tomorrow, so I'm trying to build up that speed. The endurance is the endurance. We'll see what happens. And all that remains for me to say is thank you all so much for watching this live. And also those watching on replay, leave it in the comments. Thumbs up as always. And if you are new here, subscribe and whatever. And I'll keep you posted. I already have some plans of what I'll be doing post London. It'll be shorter distances and the build up towards Christmas. I will be having a rest through Christmas. And also I'll be talking about the plans building up. Fingers crossed that I get my place for London next year. And I'll be doing something completely different that you would not have seen anywhere on the YouTubes of that type of training for a marathon, because I think now I've got over the surgery, I've got some things that I want to try, something new. So I'm going to do some more gym work and all that type of stuff, because it is winter and I don't like running in wind and rain and cold and all that type of stuff. Call me lightweight or whatever, but I like to enjoy my running. And yes, as some messages are coming through, so clearly my time is up. So I say bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Cheers for your comments. Thank you, everybody. As I said, thumbs up, subscribe, and all that jazz. And keep an eye out. Berlin Marathon, hopefully tomorrow. Review. Who do you think is going to win? And then I'll be having a follow-up with the Garmin Ultra. And then you'll see the Park Run or Saturday Smiles. You might see that, a quick short edit if I can do that. So thank you all. And thank you, Bill. And God bless you as well. And wishing you all the very best. Take care. Stay safe. Love you all. I'm going to go. Otherwise, I'll end up chatting here forever and ever. And people watching on replay thinking, who's he talking to? It has been a long time since I've seen you, Youssef. So, you know, would we recognize each other? We've all changed over time, haven't we? Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. It says end broadcast, so I've got to hit another button.